Good news. Is there any good news? What is the good news? When is the good news? So, when are you going to tell us the good news? These are the words asked to every woman who is being married. And trust me, it hurts to me because I have gone through a lot of it from my 15 years of my marriage. From the third month of my marriage, I've been asked, is there any good news? Trust me. And it used to go into my nerves, and I used to feel irritated, and I used to feel why people are so sick. Having a child or not having a child is a choice you make, and who are we to question them? Sometimes they don't have child because of medical reasons. We can't hurt a married couple just asking the word good news. What are you going to do? What is that kind of happiness you get hurting people and asking them the word good news? I really feel bad for not the people who is going through it, but the people who are asking the word good news. Why are we like this? Why can't we just leave the people who don't have kids? Is the choice they have made, or it's some other reason they are not able to have a kid? So, I have written in my title, Not Being a Mother is a Good News, and I go by it because if I would have had a biological kid, then my love towards my own kid will be more. I would have been biased, I would have been possessive about my only kid. Now, I am not like that. I feel my motherhood towards all the kids is same and equal. I love all the kids the same way, whether it is my niece or the nephew. Even now, everybody, all my nieces and nephews and friends or kids of my friends, they all call me and talk to me like a friend for all their problems and solutions. And I feel as a mother who can guide them. So I don't have to be biologically a mother and prove my motherhood. Somebody told me recently, a woman is 100% when you become a mother. I was like zipped. I was shocked. What was he talking? I mean, what does it mean? So, a woman is 100% or she gets 100% only if she becomes a mother? And what does that mean? Which it means that when somebody doesn't have kid, when a woman doesn't have kid, she is not a woman. Why are people judging other women, and why are they hurting women constantly by using such phrases and statements? I may sound very strong when I'm talking about this because I really feel for bad not only for me but all the women around there who couldn't be mother because some reason or the other. How can someone say that a woman is complete woman only if she is a mother, or if she is 100% woman only if she is a mother? What nonsense is this? And which society are we living, and what are we trying to say and teach to the kids, to the next generation? There's nothing like saying to a woman that you are not complete because you're not a mother, which means I am also not a complete woman, isn't it? How can someone use those words? Anyways, we can't change the mindset of such people. What I would really say is try to, avoid such people in life. They're really toxic people. Moving on, there is another one thing I really wanted to share is that usually the women who don't have kids is called as banj, or whatever, in different languages, different words. I've told an example word in Hindi. Why is a woman called by a word? Why a word is given for it? Banj, Gudralu. What is this? Why should a woman be called like that when she cannot become a mother? And it really hurts more. At one point of time, I stopped going to baby showers because whenever we go to these baby showers or Srimantam, we are always considered to be unauspicious. We means the people like me who cannot biologically have a kid, that we are considered to be unauspicious. And in all the rituals which they do to that would be mother, we are asked to do it in the end. That's why I really hate that events, and I really don't go to such functions or events. And I stopped going it from past few years. But I wanted to remember and tell one incident which happened to me long back, a few years back, around 9 years back. One of my RJ was her in 5th month of her pregnancy. She was very dull, though she was working and she was, concentrating on her work and her other thing. But I somehow felt there was something wrong with her. So I called her and I asked her what is the reason that she's looking very dull and she's not, like that the mother was going to be a mother, because she was already in her 5th month of her pregnancy. She told me that, since hers was a love marriage and her parents have not accepted her marriage, she misses her mother a lot. And if her mother would have been with her now, she would have done Srimantam to her, which is the baby shower function for her, and she feels very bad that she is not able to have a baby shower. The moment she said it, I was like zipped and I was like shocked, and I was just thinking what to do to make her happy. My only intention on that day was to make her happy. So I called all my producers and executive producers and other assistants, the teams in all the women team, to come and discuss on this. I was just telling them, why not we plan in this weekend a baby shower for her. Everybody were excited. We all discussed what gifts to buy for her and how should we do and where should we do and all that. And we organized this event of baby shower for her. Everybody got couple of gifts. Some bought saris, some bought gifts, and it was very, very delightful. And we surprised her. We called her. We gave her a surprise event, and she was full of tears of happiness. I was just 29 then. And she just came and fell on my feet, and she started to feel so happy that I have done something like that for her. And she said, now she doesn't miss her mother. That's the moment it really touched me. And in the entire ritual, I was like full of tears, and I was very emotional. And these tears were the tears of happiness and content. Now, when the baby shower rituals happens, usually the first when you keep a sindoor and bless the would-be mother, it will generally be a mother, a woman who have already had kids or something like that. So I stepped back and I asked another colleague of mine to do the ritual. But my RJ, the girl who is pregnant, told me that you have organized the entire event, ma'am. You have thought about me and you have done this for me. You have called everybody. You have never been this thing towards me, and this shows your love towards me and to the baby who is going to be born. and it is not unauspicious or something like an evil eye for not being a mother. You have to keep my first sindoor to me and bless me. I was like, I didn't want to do it. So, because I always heard from my family, relatives, and all that, I should not do generally such kind of rituals because I'm not a mother. So, there is a possibility that the kid might have some problems when they are born and all that stupid things, which is not true. But that is what is being put into our head, and deep drive deep into our subconscious mind, we also feel that maybe that's true. So I started to rewind those incidents, and I started to tell her, no, I will not do all these rituals. Please, someone let them do it, and later on I will give you the gift whatever I bought. But she was very adamant, and she said, no, you have to do the entire ritual. So I did the ritual, and after doing it, I felt so happy on that day, and I was so touched and very emotional on that day. The moment she said that she does not miss her mother, was still, I can still hear that voice of hers. And after this incident has happened, till her kid was born, somewhere subconsciously in my mind, I was like wishing every day, praying that she has her baby properly, she gets a proper kid without any problem, or her pregnancy should be smooth. And trust me, she had a wonderful kid. Now the kid is 9 years old, and whenever I see him, I feel so happy. So remove all these thoughts, remove the thoughts that we should not hurt someone by saying that you are not a mother, so you are not a full woman or complete woman. You are not a mother, so you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you're unauspicious. What bullshit. I mean, these are the kind of words which will put some people into lot of depressions. I've seen many women going into depression. Fortunately, I have not gone to depression. Yes, I've gone through a lot of stress for not having a kid at one point of time. But I came out of it. But there are still women out there who are still suffering because of this. Suffering because, not because they couldn't have the child, but because the society was always pointing towards them and saying them, empathizing them, sympathizing them, and constantly asking the word good news. So next time when you're asking good news to someone, please think of what I have said. And I really mean what I have said, because I've gone through the entire thing of how much it hurts for a woman when somebody asks you the word good news. So also I made a statement, not being a mother is a good news is also the same. We might not have to be a mother biologically, but our motherhood will always lie with all the kid. So with this note, I want to end this podcast. I hope that my words are really making difference to all the women out there, and feel proud. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You feel proud to be a woman, and whatever your choice is your choice. You don't have to make good newses, right? So on this note, I just want everyone to just be happy and make the change and be the change. Also, try to subscribe this channel and share it and like this channel, because I'll be talking something which are really related to us, and which will really bring the change within us and also to the people around us. The change should happen from us, and later it should spread to all. That's my intention. Until next time, take care. This is signing off. This is Jyoti Srinivas.